this lecture, we're going to talk about the course outline. CEH version 10 consists of 20 chapters. First one is an introduction to ethical hacking. What is ethical hacking and what is penetration testing? Why there is a big demand for such skills in the market today? Why companies are looking for ethical hackers and they are hiring them due to the compliance or framework they are following. So it's maybe an introduction, but I think it's quite important so you can set up your objective and understand what you'll be getting by taking this training in the professional life. Then we're going to take footprinting and reconnaissance and enumeration. This is where we're going to explain the ethical hacking methodology. What are the steps for doing ethical hacking? This is a very organized process. It's not a random process. And when you do to provide such services for any company, you have to explain to them what methodology you are following. And there is a lot of standard that we are following when it comes to ethical hacking or penetration testing. So footprinting and scanning and enumeration, this is where we're going to explain the methodology and how to start collecting information about your target, different kind of information, passive information, active information, network information, people information. So it's quite important because it's based on the information that you're going to collect from those 3 steps that you're going to plan for your attack. So you will be knowing what kind of operating systems they have, and according to that you're going to search for the weakness in such operating system, or what kind of applications they are using, or what kind of services, or what kind of network. And according to the information and to the reconnaissance phase, you will be able to plan for an attack and know what will be more effective when it comes to attacking this victim. Then we're going to take the vulnerability analysis. Now, most of the time, company will request the 2 services, doing a vulnerability assessment and doing a penetration testing. So vulnerability assessment is according to the information that you collected. What are the weaknesses in them? So you know that they are using Windows Server 2012, for instance. Okay, what are weaknesses in Windows Server 2012? What are weaknesses in Microsoft Office, the versions that they are using? What are the weaknesses in the application or the protocol or the service that they are using? So usually we are doing a vulnerability analysis and then we validate those vulnerabilities. Not all the vulnerability found in a system can be exploited. Sometimes you can find an open port, which is considered a vulnerability, but you cannot hack the system through the port because it doesn't have any service on it. So after doing a vulnerability analysis, you need to validate the process or the vulnerability found. Which one is more risky? Which one can be used to hack to the system? Then we're going to take, we're going to talk about system hacking. This is like an introduction to hacking. We're going to talk about some basics hacking, and we're going to focus about password hacking, different technique that can be used for password hacking. And actually it's quite effective. A lot of people is thinking that if they are using a strong password, that's it, it's secure. It's not. Password is considered the cheapest and weakest way for authentication. So you're going to see that if it comes to password, it's quite easy to crack it using different techniques. Then we're going to talk about malware threats, then sniffing, which is a layer 2 attack, how to hack a network, wired or wireless network. Then social engineering, and social engineering is more into attacks through people. I can spend days trying to bypass firewalls or to try to bypass protection to hack into a company, or I can send an email using some fake email application, or I can call him or send him a fake SMS. And once he click on this link inside the email or SMS, I will be able to compromise his network. So we're going to see how easy it is to manipulate people, especially that, when it comes to awareness, people awareness or people security awareness are quite low, which help hacker to attack systems through people. Then we're going to talk about denial of service, session hijacking, evading or bypassing IDS, firewall, and Honeywell. Then we're going to talk about hacking web server, hacking web application, SQL injection. This is a very, very important subject, because a lot of attacks still today, it's when it comes to web application and website, it's used by SQL injection. So we're going to see different SQL injection attack, and we're going to test them. Then we're going to talk about hacking wireless network, different way for doing wireless attack. We're going to talk about hacking mobile platform. Then this is one of the topics that has been added to this chapter besides the vulnerability analysis, which is the Internet of Things hacking. We're going to talk about what is the IoT, what is the IoT security, what is the weakness in the IoT security. And actually you're going to notice that when you understand the IoT, how it works, what services use it, the different layer, you will see that most of the attacks that you learn during this course are applicable to it. It's like regular system. So you can brute force the IoT, you can denial of service the IoT, so it's quite similar to what we are talking. And finally, we're going to talk about cloud computing and cryptography. So those are the 20 chapters covered in this course. Now the thing is, whatever topic we're going to explain and whatever attack we're going to explain, you have to do it yourself. Because as we agree, it will not just be a questions that you're going to get inside the exam, but most probably it may be a scenarios that you're going to need to implement. So unless you practice the attack and you understand how it works and what weakness did you get advantage from, or what weakness did you utilize, this will not be an effective. So the course is fully practical, and you have to do that yourself. You have to set up the lab. You have to practice those attacks. You even have to escalate it. Sometimes you can say, okay, what if I do this, or what if I do that? You have to practice. You have to try this. This is how you're going to get the skills. So as you can see, this is a very strong course, and I will be providing you with a lot of resources, advanced hacking materials and labs and videos, and I'm going to do my best. So by going through my course and finishing, not just you will get the certificate, but you will be able to start working as a professional ethical hacker or penetration tester.